This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Coming up on this episode of DL Weekly, a new character experience coming for Halloween, a few new offerings to celebrate the official anniversary at Disneyland,
virtual queue details for Walt Disney A Magical Life. We talk about our upcoming whirlwind trip for the 70th and to the Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet and more. DL Weekly starts now.
Oh boy, it sure is great to see you, Weekly Tears. Come on, Goofy. Gorge.
Hello and welcome to this episode of DL Weekly for the week of July 16th, 2025. I'm Tig Bushman.
And I'm Teresa Urban. We would like to thank everyone who supports the show, but this week we would like to give a special shout out to Ashley E., Anna T., Amanda C., and Dylan H. for your continued support. If you would like to help support the show and get ad-free versions of each episode, access to our supporter-only chat, plus a bunch of other fun perks, head on over to dlweekly.net/support to become an official weekly tier. Also, just a note for all of our weekly tiers at the correct level, our bonus episode for July is out. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to it, head on over to Patreon and give it a listen.
Now let's get to the news.
Extra, extra, read all about it. DL Weekly reports from intrepid correspondents Tag and Teresa. You heard it here first, ladies and gents. Breaking news!
Well, Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort starts next month, and there is a new experience coming soon. A new Halloween character dining experience is coming to Storytellers Cafe for dinner. Clarabelle's Enchanted Halloween Dinner is available from August 22nd through October 31st. Dinner is from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. and will cost $79 per adult, $42 per child. Bookings are open for this experience now at the link in our show notes.
This looks so fun and so cute. So it's Clarabelle and friends in their like festive fall outfit. So they're kind of like it's like a spin on Halloween costumes because they are different characters, but they're very like fall colors, if that makes sense. So it looks almost like Clarabelle might be a butterfly with her cape. And I see it looks like Goofy, I don't know, is a wolf or something because he's got ears, like little pointy ears on his cap, but he's kind of also lumberjacky looking.
He's got a bag that looks like the full moon.
That looks like the moon. So, yep, he must be a wolf. And then Daisy looks like a witch, but it's all in like orange and like earthy tones for her costume. And I can't quite tell. It looks like Pluto may have some leaves on his collar. And I don't know who Donald's supposed to be, but it looks like he also has wings. Like
I feel like Donald,
like
has
on his arms.
Definitely some wings there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have noticed the butterfly thing with Clarabelle, so that's really cool because she's got a lantern.
Totally wrong. Maybe she's a moth. Maybe that's what it is. A moth.
Yeah, Daisy has a bag that looks like a mushroom, so that's kind of cool. This looks fun. This reminds me, was it last year that they did this? But it wasn't Clarabelle. It was like the characters were meeting and greeting at Storytellers in their fall Halloween attire.
Yes, because last year, I think they have it on here, it was Mickey's Autumn Adventures Breakfast and Brunch. And that is still going on for breakfast and brunch, and then for dinner, it switches over for Clarabelle's main event. So the menu for dinner, which will be served from 4 to 9 p.m., features hand-carved meats, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, grilled salmon, grilled pork, seasonal vegetables, bread pudding, sweets and confections, ice cream, plus a variety of breads, or plus a variety of beverages.
That is some good stuff there. So
you won't leave hungry.
No, definitely
not. I can attest to that.
Oh, don't even remind me.
Well, this week marks the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. To celebrate, there are a couple more experiences that are debuting. At the Main Street Cinema, a tribute to the Sherman Brothers called The Last Verse will be playing. It's a Small World will also get a new verse from Richard Sherman. A new exhibit will open in the Main Street Opera House, showcasing the evolution of Disneyland with rare photos, concept art, and never-before-seen artifacts from the park's early days. Finally, Walt Disney, A Magical Life will premiere in the Opera House, honoring the life and legacy of Walt Disney.
So I'm going to jump to the Walt Disney Magical Life thing. So we got a little sneak peek from the Disney Parks blog and from the Disney Parks Instagram pages. If you haven't seen it already, I don't know how you haven't. I'm sure it's all over the internet because it's been all over the internet today. We're recording this a day early. This is Monday. That showed, it's really good. It shows a bunch of the artifacts and stuff that are going to be in the Opera House. And then at the very end, you get to see the Walt animatronics. So if you're not traveling to the resort in the near future and you just want to get a glimpse of this, I'm sure everybody and their mother is going to have videos of this in the next few days of like the actual whole show or whatever, if they allow cameras. But right now they have an official thing that you can go and see it. But yeah, they had a lot of really cool stuff. They had maps of what was leading up to Disneyland being there. They had obviously the artifacts, which we talked about, I think last week, coming from the Family Museum.
Yeah.
So just a lot of cool stuff. I'm also excited. There's so much Sherman Brothers here, right? Because the last verse will be in the cinema, and of course the new verse that's coming to It's a Small World. So pretty awesome.
Very awesome. So since you have watched the videos of the animatronic, can you give me, we'll make it quick because we don't want to spoil for people like myself trying to remain spoiler free. Give me 3 words of what your thoughts are. Could be your first impression. I know you've watched it multiple times because that's how you
the
do
animatronic or the stuff.
All of the above.
Okay. Well, one cool thing.
So I'll give you 5 words for all of the above.
I don't know about 5 words. I'll just say there looks to be some animatronics in the lobby area. There's one of like a goose, and there's also a Jose, which is moving. Like they are animated in the video that I saw. There's also some TV stuff. There's some cool stuff like Walt used to do. Lots of pictures. It looks like it looks like a George Foster Peabody Award that he got, and also like some Purple Heart stuff that he got is also on display. And then, of course, the main attraction with Walt. I just want to tell people who might see this clip, watch it a few times. Because when I watched it the first time, I don't know what I was feeling. I was feeling, it's very quick. There's like 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds in this whole video of Walt. And the movement looks great, everything. Yeah, I'm going to get into the whole thing. But anyway.
So are you cautiously optimistic?
I'm cautiously optimistic. My first knee-jerk reaction was, oh no. But like I said, the more I looked at it, the more I'm like, I don't know why I had that knee-jerk reaction. I don't know. Maybe it's shocked seeing Walt Disney there. I don't know. Sure.
I personally am trying to stay spoiler-free, which thank goodness we're recording today because I pulled all the news stories before they released the footage. Otherwise, it would have been inevitable and I would have accidentally spoiled it for myself. But I wanted to remain spoiler-free, not because I'm against spoilers, but just because we get to be there the day it officially opens and debuts. So I'm like, I don't need to have a spoiler because in my brain, I'm like, I didn't even consider that I might accidentally see it before we got there because I'm like, we're there day one. How am I going to see it otherwise? Then Disney came along and was trying to tease everyone. So
they didn't even spoiler tag it or anything. They didn't say like warning. They were just like, here you go.
Dang. Okay. Disney, if you're listening in the future, spoiler tags. We like spoilers, but we also like to know when we're going to be spoiled so we can avoid if needed. So I'm very excited. This is the first time that I will get to be at a new attraction like for opening day. So I think that's pretty amazing. Granted, it's not like, you can argue it's not a brand new attraction because it's not like they built something totally new. It's inside of an existing attraction space, and it's kind of like coexisting with the previous attraction. But still, it's the first time that I'll be at an opening day for an attraction. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm also super excited because It's a Small World has just been what it's been for years, for my entire life. I am very curious to experience that attraction with the new added last verse to see, just because, right, it's going to be, again, so familiar, but then not. Plus, if you haven't seen the last verse, of course you can go to the Main Street Cinema and watch it there, but you can also watch it on Disney Plus. It's this really sweet, touching story from Richard about why he wrote the last and final verse for It's a Small World. And actually, he wrote it and presented it not long before he passed. So it was kind of his final gift to Disney fans, which just like really, right, hits you in the feels. So I'm just very excited that we get to experience both of these things in a couple of days. We can talk about this more because that's what we're going to be talking about for our discussion topic. But yeah, very excited for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see all this stuff. And, just the 70th anniversary just keeps giving, right? It seems like every week we're talking about more stuff. We have new merch. We have new experiences, all this stuff. So it's going to be cool.
Yes.
Well, for guests who want to experience Walt Disney A Magical Life, there will be a virtual queue to access the experience. Guests can join no more than once per day through the Disneyland app starting at 7 a.m. With a second option at 12 p.m. You must have a park reservation for Disneyland to request a place in the 7 a.m. queue. Guests with reservations at Disney California Adventure with a park hopper can join the 12 p.m. queue. I'm glad that they announced this.
Yes, this makes so much sense because we were kind of discussing, like, between ourselves, maybe even on the podcast or on live streams, how are they going to do this? Because maybe this isn't going to be something that's going to have a ton of demand for a long period of time, like, say, something big or exciting like Guardians of the Galaxy in Florida, where it's like everybody, maybe this isn't something for everyone, but there's going to be a high demand and people are going to want to see this. And there's no space. Like, if you there's not a queuing area for the attraction normally, there certainly isn't that much space in front of the attraction in Town Square. Plus, you have the display in the Disney Gallery, so you don't really want to just have people, magic taped squirming or, worming their way around in there because you don't want to distract and take away from that display. David from Fresh Bake, I think, was hypothesizing that maybe you open the overflow behind, I don't even know what you call that, that corridor that's behind Main Street that they'll sometimes open when like the parade or fireworks are going on so that they can get people up and down Main Street. Maybe they would open that up and have people queued up back there, but still, we felt the only way that this would make sense would be a virtual queue. I'm very curious to see the execution of this because virtual queues in the past, yes, you have a designated time that you are supposed to come back to the attraction by, but there's still a queue. It's not like you get in at that moment. So they're still going to have to be creative as to where to put people. My guess is we probably won't have any character meet and greets on that side of Town Square for a while, and that's where the magic tape will be. But yeah, I'm very interested and very intrigued in how this is going to work.
I'm curious just what the demand is going to be like. Obviously, the first day, everybody's trying to get in to see it, right? So I think it's going to be a high demand. But my curiosity is, I wonder, like, how long is that demand going to kind of stick around for? And then also, we don't really know. They haven't mentioned a firm date on, like, when it's also going to have, Lincoln also coming back and rotating. So that'll be really interesting to see how that works. But I'm glad that they figured this out. And I like that they're doing one per day, because then people get, more people can have the opportunity to see it, and there's not just people going to see it a bunch of times. Although, I don't know, do you need to see it a few times? I mean, maybe you
I think it depends on where you... Everything? Yeah, I think since this is something, like, think of that theater, right? Whenever you go to see Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, usually you have your pick of where you want to sit in the theater. You're not going to have your pick of where you want to sit in the theater now. So I could see wanting to see it multiple times depending on where you got seated. If you happen to get seated like on one of the far ends, and so you had a very skewed angle of watching the show, I could see wanting to try again to hopefully get more central to see it straight on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious. You will hear all of our opinions and thoughts next week.
Episode. Yep.
When we do our recap on our wonderful trip. A new lounge has come to the Disneyland Hotel for club-level guests. The High Key Club celebrates music and classic sounds of early Disneyland. There are artifacts on display with fixtures resembling records, a piano spanning the entire wall, and a mural above featuring Disney characters. There are large floor-to-ceiling windows that are great for fireworks viewings on select nights.
So apparently, my understanding, because I have never stayed club level anywhere, was that there was a club lounge before.
Yes.
It may have even been in this similar space, but it has gotten a lot larger, been rethemed. And I'm telling you, man, these views from this club, I think is like worth. I mean, I would just pay to get in just to see the view. And I can't, imagining, in the middle of summer when it's hot and, whatever out, and being able to watch the fireworks from something comfortable. This gives me the California Grill at the Contemporary in Disney World feels,
sure.
where you could be up and they have the big windows and you can see the fireworks. So I'm glad Disneyland's finally getting something along those lines. I'm excited to see people report on this more and see more about it, because right now it's just some Disney promotional photos that we've seen for it. So
this is interesting. So I'm looking at the mural just to see, and there's all sorts of fun nods to music in the parks, right? So we've got there's the Dapper Dans, we've got the Firehouse 5 represented there. It looks like the Sherman Brothers on the right there in this photo that we've got. Of course, links are in the show notes. Very, very fun. But this used to be, so the lounge, the club level lounge at the Disneyland Hotel was called the E-Ticket Lounge. So yes, this is a much more updated, and it looks, I don't know for sure, but it does look like it's larger. I never had a chance to go experience the E-Ticket Lounge myself, so I don't know for certain, but it just looks like a very nice, large open space. The floor to ceiling windows though, amazing. So of course fireworks views, but I think just views in general are probably spectacular from here up above. The other cool thing that was not listed in this article, but I did see that they are also piping in music for the fireworks while you're watching them. So not only do you get to see the fireworks, you get to be more involved in the story and the show with the music, which is big because they don't pipe the music in other spaces like the Esplanade or from your hotel room or wherever. So that's a really cool thing too.
Yeah. Well, a new honoree received a window on Main Street this week. Lillian Disney's window is located next to the Disney Showcase shop facing the Opera House. Her window is for Lily's bountiful blooms, flowers, and fancies, with flowers adorning the area. The window was dedicated on July 13th, Walt and Lillian's 100th wedding anniversary. On the balcony, there's a painting of the Main Street Firehouse, where Disney had his in-park apartment, plus a Mickey plush in a white chair, a nod to Lillian convincing Walt to rename Mortimer Mouse to, of course, Mickey Mouse. You'll also spot a violin, a music stand, and a bird cage off to the left. How awesome.
This is something that felt like it came out of nowhere. There was no whispers that this was going to happen, and then I saw this posted. Actually, the first person I saw post about it was Philander, because he was fortunate enough to actually be involved in the dedication ceremony. But how did she, my head kind of exploded a little bit, because I just how did she not already have a window? She was such an important, maybe not the front like Walt was, but she supported the man so much, and I'm sure was helping with all sorts of things that we will never even know about from behind the scenes. Of course, there's, Tag mentioned, some, popularized stories where Lillian convinced Walt to rename Mortimer. So anyways, I just, this is wild to me and I feel, kind of embarrassed as such a Disneyland fan, but I'm wait a minute, how did we not? But this, so deserving. So deserving. And I just love that they intentionally did the dedication on their 100th wedding anniversary as well. I'm very excited to see this window for myself. So it's facing Town Square. There's this really, and it's a really beautiful building. I don't know, there's a little shop underneath it. I don't know what that shop's called necessarily, but it's next to now I don't even remember what the one's on the corner, but it's kitty corner to where the Mad Hatter is.
It's the Disney Showcase shop.
The Showcase shop. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So beautiful. I'm excited. I'm hoping that we can spot some of these the little details in it. It looks like it's a very large window too, and compared to what other windows on Main Street sizes are. So I'm hoping. I'm just really excited. It'll give folks something to look at while they're waiting to get into Walt: A Magical Life.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really know much about Lillian Disney, so I was just quickly looking up her Wikipedia page. And first of all, I did not realize that she lived until 98 years old. She passed in 1997, which, what?
Yeah.
And also, I think I knew this from before, but she was inducted into to become a Disney legend in 2003. So she's at least been, recognized.
Yeah.
In that case, just not with a window. So.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very, very well deserved.
Yeah.
Well, Dole Whip fans rejoice. There is a Disneyland 70th Dole Whip Cup coming this week. The new souvenir cup will be available at the Tropical Hideaway and Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar. The cup features Mickey Mouse in his 70th attire and the Disneyland 70th logo. The 70th anniversary pineapple upside down sundae at the Tropical Hideaway is a perfect complement to the souvenir.
I think when we're there, I want to try the pineapple upside down sundae.
This is happening. First of all,
good.
a Dole Whip is happening no matter what, and the Dole Whip cup is happening. So we can try the pineapple upside down sundae as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about
great.
these Dole Whip cups. The last time that we were there and they had one, it was to celebrate the Matterhorn. And I think I got one, and then you're like, ooh, that's cool. And then you ended up with one. They're just such a fun souvenir. I don't believe there was any additional cost for it outside of like what a regular Dole Whip was. Or if there was, it was minimal. So it's a pretty inexpensive, fun themed souvenir.
Absolutely. And you can have a great treat with it too.
Yeah. Plus it's a great treat.
Weekly tiers who want to explore the Temple of the Forbidden Eye alone might have a new option. Single rider is being tested at Indiana Jones. Since it is in the testing phase, it may or may not be available when you visit.
This is interesting because I feel like there's other attractions, right, that have single rider, and it seems like it's kind of happened on and off. I would not have expected Indiana Jones to be one that really needed single rider, because a lot of attractions that offer it have like numbers that are not divisible by 4, I think is what it typically ends up being. Because like think of Space Mountain, there's 6 in a car. So, there's typically a family
Same
of 4.
Same thing with Radiator Springs Racers, because it's 3 and 3.
Yeah, so the fact that this is 4 per row, I was kind of a little surprised that they're going with single rider. But on the other hand, when you're in that attraction queue, how often have you been like at the top of the stairs and there's a cast member at the bottom yelling down, do we have a group of, whatever? And then people have to kind of shimmy and shuffle their way down around the crowd down the stairs to get, to fill those spaces. So I could see, so apparently there is enough of a need. Maybe they'll end up doing not singles. Maybe there'll be more duos, because I could see that. Because it usually feels like they're always looking for a group of 2. But
that's true.
Anyways, we will report back if this is happening when we're there, and if we try it out, we'll report back how the experience went.
I think single rider is a great idea just in general, because there's lines everywhere, right? And I've complained about Lightning Lane causing lines and everything, but if you could fill every single available seat, I think that's a win. So, yeah.
Well, our 400th episode is coming, and we would love to hear from you. Head on over to DLWeekly.net/400feedback and tell us something that stands out to you from our 400 episodes. Could be an interview you liked, a specific snack we talked about, a trivia question or segment, an experience we shared, just your favorite memory in general. Anything, really. If you would like to have your voice played on the show, you can leave that information in a voicemail by calling 657-345-4445. Otherwise, head on over to DLWeekly.net/400feedback to submit your memory.
We've been getting these, yeah.
Yes, I was going to say, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to everyone that has submitted memories thus far. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, there was one that came through and who didn't leave their name. So the reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm hoping they will call back and leave their name. But it was a voicemail, and it was from our self-proclaimed, I mean, I don't know, we don't know who they are or what they look like, cutest listener who is 11 years old. And I played it with James sitting next to me, and James said, that is just stinking adorable. So if you called and you left that voicemail, please call back and tell us who you are so we can give you attribution.
Either call back or email us. Let us know who you were so we can make sure we have your name. We don't need your full name, just your first name.
Yeah.
It's fine, but we want to make sure we give you credit.
Absolutely, because it was a cute message. And honestly, we've had really great... I've listened to the voicemails that have come in so far. I've read the feedback that people... It is feedback. The feedback people have sent in. It's really, really nice to hear from everybody because Teresa's mentioned it on the show before. We sit here... I mean, right now we're not in the same space. But
we're not even in the same room. Yeah.
No. Typically...
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like aloe or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. With Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts are going abandoned and way more sales happening. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whatever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
We're not even in the same area of the state right now, but typically we're in the same room together, and it's just us talking into a microphone together. And, so getting that feedback from people is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week for SnackChat, we are continuing on our tour of Disney California Adventure to a couple locations. One of the locations we're going to cover tonight is not always open. They do open them for food and wine and food events and stuff like that. So where's the first place we're headed to that is open all the time?
So Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta is where we'll be stopping at next. They are open for lunch and dinner. I will admit, this is not always top of our list to go stop at. In fact, I think oftentimes we kind of forget that it's there because it is kind of hidden. So, but it's got all sorts of great stuff. I'm sure it's wonderful, especially for families. But this is kind of your pizza joint in DCA.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because James was just talking because I said, when we go in October, what are you thinking? And he's like, well, we should eat somewhere that we haven't eaten before. And I'm like, well, where's that? And he's like, I don't know. I just feel like that, the last time we were there and we did the Cafe Orleans that we don't eat at very often or whatever. And then I said, so I pulled up the map and I was going around all the dining locations and I was like, we don't really eat at Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta very often. And James is like, where's that? So there you go.
Case and point.
Exactly.
Don't get there very often. But some of the things you can enjoy while you're there, pasta dishes include spaghetti with meatballs. There's also a 4-cheese roasted garlic chicken pasta. And they have a plant-based pasta, which is a creamy marinara primavera, which is rigatoni with marinara, coconut cream sauce, and seasonal vegetables.
I didn't know they had this 4-cheese roasted garlic chicken pasta. That actually kind of sounds good.
You're like, this sounds like a game changer.
It does. For pizzas, because obviously it's in the name, there's a summer sausage pizza by the slice. There's a cheese pizza by the slice, a pepperoni pizza by the slice, and you can get a summer sausage pizza, a whole pizza for your family. The summer sausage pizza has spicy pork sausage, baba ganoush, feta, and roasted seasonal vegetables.
I was gonna say you gotta talk about the description, because when at first glance, summer sausage pizza, I would assume it's just like sausage and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is much fancier than that. Salad options. You've got a wedge salad. We all know how much I love a good wedge salad. Caesar side salad, and there's also an Italian chef salad. And what is in that, you may ask? It's fresh greens, assorted deli meats, cucumber, tomato, red onion, marinated olives, mozzarella, and pepperoncini with a zesty Italian vinaigrette.
They also have some snacks here, and of course, for the snack, you can't have a pizza and pasta place without cheesy breadsticks with marinara sauce. You can also get a Cutie's Mandarin, applesauce, or yogurt at this location.
I have a confession. The only thing I have ever eaten at this location was the cheesy breadsticks with marinara sauce. I don't remember what the context was or why I grabbed them when we were there, but I just remember jokingly being like, you're in a theme park when it's $5 for a breadstick. But yeah, I think that's the only thing that we've had. You may have been grabbing a slice of a seasonal pizza, because they do have seasonal offerings through here as well. Right now, it's just there's a tiramisu parfait. Otherwise, it's just sippers and tumblers that they've got. Maybe the summer sausage pizza is actually seasonal, but it's showing on the main menu. And since we're in DCA, I guess I can't say that anymore.
Wait. There's also a spaghetti with turkey meatballs for the kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, since we're in DCA, but that doesn't really apply anymore. But for alcoholic beverages, there's a few different options, but there is a Wither Hill Sauvignon Blanc wine. There's a Garnet Pinot Noir. There's, a Stone Delicious Hazy IPA and Brewery X Huckleberry Seltzer.
Yep, and then there's all the regular drinks.
Yeah. They do have gluten and wheat-free, as well as egg and shellfish. There's all sorts of allergy-friendly options at this location as well, which is great to see since, sometimes when it's something like pizza and pasta and it's served like Alien Pizza Planet, where it's just kind of almost, not really buffet style, but like a lunch counter kind of style. You don't always know if they have options, but they have options at Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta.
This is also the place we covered couple months ago that has the self-checkout option that'll scan your plate.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to try that next when we're there, maybe. So the other location is Paradise Garden Grill, which usually has a ton of the marketplace stuff. So for different food festivals and stuff, there's a ton of stuff at this location. They do lunch and dinner. So currently, for entrees, there's a chicken taquitos rojos, which looks really good, and some al pastor tacos as well.
There's esquite loaded chips, and then I actually tried this on our last visit, the achiote chicken salad, which I need to tell people this because I was not very smart and didn't read the full description, but it is marinated chicken, crisp romaine lettuce, roasted corn, black beans, tomatoes, crispy tortilla chips, and cojita cheese tossed in a spicy Caesar dressing. And they were not joking. This was a spicy Caesar dressing. It was so delicious, but my lips were definitely tingling. And I couldn't get over, you even commented on the size of this salad. It was an incredibly generous portion. And it was it was really good.
It was only $12 too.
Yeah, it was really affordable. I also got, which is a seasonal offering right now, the pineapple agua fresca, which we talked about in the previous snack chat. If you're a pineapple fan, if Dole Whip is your jam, you try this. You have to try this agua fresca. It was so delicious and pineapple-y and refreshing. There is a plant-based option here, which is the carne asada wet burrito, which is marinated steak tips, which are, of course, plant-based, Spanish rice, refried beans, and avocado crema topped with salsa verde and crema.
There's also a Disney's Kids Check Meal, which is a cheese quesadilla available. Or there's just a regular kids meal, which is a street-style taco, which has al pastor taco in a corn tortilla served with Spanish rice and refried beans with a choice of small water or small low-fat milk.
If you're looking for dessert, they've got a mango strawberry chili lime parfait, which is mango mousse vanilla cake, mango passion fruit compote, and a strawberry chamoy chili lime jelly.
For alcoholic beverages, there is a Carl Strauss Brewing Company 70th Anniversary IPA. There's a Stone Brewing Company Buena Veza Salt and Lime Lager, and a Brewery X Hard Peach Tea Seltzer.
For cocktails, we have a fresh pineapple cocktail, which is tequila, agua fresca de piña, and chili lime seasoned rim. There's also a watermelon pineapple cocktail, which is tequila, watermelon schnapps, and pineapple juice with chamoy and chili lime seasoned rim. Yum. And then also your assorted fountain beverage, all that kind of stuff. This is one of my favorite places to check out in DCA. Like Tig mentioned, they're not open all the time. And the coolest thing about this location is their menu's constantly changing. So whether it's like, this is like their summertime seasonal menu, there's going to probably be a different menu change when we get into like Halloween time. So unfortunately, it's not open every time you go because they are making these big changes every couple of, I don't know how often they do it, but a couple times a year at least. And then like Tag also mentioned too, the cool thing too is you can during like the different festivals, they'll have festival offerings here where you can get the like tasting ticket size, or you can get like a full size of the item as well. Very, very cool. But if you haven't, check out Paradise Garden Grill on your next visit.
Well, if you're going to be at or even near the Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet in Linwood, Washington, we are having a meetup. Join us Saturday, July 19th at 7 p.m. at Cascades Restaurant in the Embassy Suites Hotel in Linwood. No Mouse Meet ticket is required. We will be having some food and beverages, so please feel free to stop by and say hello. We would love to see you.
Can you believe it? That's already this weekend.
Yeah, right?
We are just days away.
DLWeekly announces the boarding of the Trivia Express, non-stop star speeder service to the moon of Endor. All passengers, please prepare for immediate boarding.
Hello, folks. It's trivia time. How you feeling?
Oof. I'm curious. It depends on the theme, I feel.
Depends on the theme. Depends on what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mean for a theme to happen, but it kind of happened. But, you know, that's the joy of Trivia Land. At some points, you just run into things, and that's how it goes.
Okay.
So I got 2 listener questions for you tonight, and 2 from me to go with it. And I think you're in for a real treat. So we'll start with the question from Andy M., who wants to know, what ominous sign lets you know bad things await on the last lift hill of Big Thunder Mountain?
Now the question is, did Zoom freeze or did we all just go?
No, I think we all went,
So many
wow.
questions.
Does it just say like danger?
Like danger?
Like blast zone?
That's kind of what I think is like, it says like danger blast zone type of, or danger explosives or.
Danger explosives. That's probably what it was.
Okay.
Danger explosives. Got it. All right. Moving on. Question number 2 comes from listener Poe J. And the question is, how many framed posters are in the indoor queue of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway?
Oh gosh, somebody counted these?
That is a good question.
They verified on 2 different YouTube videos. So shout out to Poe for doing the hard work.
Okay, so now question.
Yeah.
Right, we've got a lightning lane queue and we have a standby queue.
I'm assuming this is...
because sometimes you can see the other, like, right? You can see the other queue.
I think it's all of them.
Oh,
so.
Okay. I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm just going to say this because it's a number associated. Ooh. Now I just talked myself out of it. I was going to say 23.
That would be a number that's associated with. I can see the logic.
I'm going to go crazy, and I'm sure it's... No, that's way too many. I was going to say 55, but that's way too many. I'm going to say 32.
This is my struggle. 23 for 1923 or 28 for 1928?
Ooh, 28 sounds good.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 28. My first gut was 23, but I'm like, ooh, but that's not when Mickey debuted.
That's true.
28 is a solid guess, Teresa. That is a good one.
Yeah.
You know how
What'd you do? Well,
you know how
I
like
didn't write yours down.
32 is what Tag said.
You know how like when they have those things where like what is it? Is it on Price is Right where people are like, "Oh yeah, good guess, good." Or no, it's Family Feud where they're like, "Good answer, good answer." Yeah, that's what it is.
We support each other here in Trivia Land.
Hyping each other up. We like it. All right, third question for you is another closest bathroom question.
Oh, I got this.
So I am at the entrance of the Westward Ho Trading Company.
Ooh. It's got to be the Adventureland one.
I think just barely the Adventureland one. Yeah,
it's got to be Adventureland.
Because I want to say the ones by Rancho, but that is a longer hallway than I give it credit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as the crow flies.
But is that... Are you doing by the crow flies?
No,
like
I tried to do
steps.
by walking distance that you'd run into.
I'm sticking with Adventureland.
No, I'm going to split this one. I'm going to do the Rancho bathrooms because I was thinking about it and I'm like, you got to cross that large path and then kind of go around. So I think that's longer than going around the corner to Rancho. So I'm going to say Rancho. And James is going to be like, psych, it's actually the bathrooms that are
the
somewhere
secret companion restroom inside of the Fantasyland Theater.
That's way too far away, James, but sure. I like what you did there.
I don't know, inside of the Fantasy Theater. What is that Fantasy Fair? What is the little theater called?
The Princess Fantasy Fair Theater.
Is that what that's called?
I think it's the Royal Theater.
The Royal Theater.
The Royal
that's
Theater,
what it is.
yes. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
All
Rancho
right.
and Adventureland.
All right.
We'll see who makes it and who doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's got the better emergency for sure. All right. My last question for you is a multiple fill-in-the-blank question. I want you to help me fill in the blanks of the Frontierland dedication.
I'm out.
So I will start reading, and then I will tell you how many blanks I'm looking for in a sentence. And then we'll move on. There are 3 parts of this I'm looking for words. So, Frontierland. It is here that we experience the story of our country's past. The blank, blank, and blank of Frontier America.
Okay, hang on. Say it again.
Yes, it is here that we experience the story of our country's past. The blank, blank, and blank of Frontier America.
I feel like wild's got to be one of those words.
It's funny because all I was thinking was the hopes, dreams, and hard facts, but that's not right.
Wrong speech. Yeah, okay.
I don't even think that's right in the other speech, to be honest with you. Could you say just the one sentence again with the blanks?
The blank, blank, and blank.
Blank, and blank of Frontier America.
All I can think about is stuff that I know is not right, like the past, present, future of Frontier America.
No.
All right, we'll move on from those blanks.
I got wild. That's the only one I got for
good
that
job.
In there.
I got that one written down, yep. So those blanks of Frontier America as it developed from wilderness trails to blank, 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 and blank.
Oh, my Lanta.
What do the wilderness trails become?
Dirt roads.
The roads, trails.
Oh, yeah.
It's starting at wilderness trails, so it's probably not going from wilderness trails to trails. I'll give you that one.
Dirt
Sure.
roads. Well, how many blanks are we trying to fill in?
4.
Blank, 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 and blank.
You got it.
The roads, streets,
The dirt roads.
highways.
Paths. And
Are we even in the neighborhood, James?
probably not.
Yes.
Maybe it's dirt paths. Roads.
I would say you're probably closer than you think you are, but you still got a bit of journeying to do.
I'll throw neighborhood in there too, because why not? Because I don't have anything else.
Ghost towns.
Nice.
Nice.
I
don't
like
know.
that one. All right. The last one. a tribute to the faith, blank and blank, of our hardy pioneers who blazed the trails and made this progress possible.
Faith, courage.
Courage, that's good.
And determination.
There you go. Good job. I like those.
Those are good words. I like those words. Are they the words that are? Are they the words that are in the dedication, though? Well, maybe in someone's dedication. But we'll find out the rest of them later on. But first, you two have a trip to...
This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Talk about.
Well, for this week's discussion topic, we are going to talk to you about our wonderful fun plans for our upcoming, what have I been calling this? Our triangle trip, because we're flying out from Wisconsin to Southern California so that we can catch the 70th anniversary at Disneyland on the 17th, and then flying from Southern California up to Seattle so that we can attend the Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet, and then home again. So we don't have a straight path. We're making a little triangle as it be, but it's going to be jam-packed full of all sorts of Disney goodness. So where do you want to start on the trip? Do you want to start at the beginning?
Yeah, let's just go through it. So we're recording this on Monday because we are leaving really early on Wednesday. So even before this episode posts, we will be en route to the resort. And so we will be getting there somewhere about midday, I was
going to say, we might be landing about the time this episode goes live.
There you go. So we should be landing in LAX, and then we're going to go see if we can check into our hotel and then head on over to the park, right? Because we got reservations. We got DCA reservations, but since it's after 11, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go check out. I mean, we were there earlier, so we saw some of the stuff, but some things I think that we will immediately... Oh, nope, that's on the 16th, so we won't be checking out. I was going to say we'll go check out the Sherman Brothers stuff, but that won't be till the next day.
You know what, though? We might be able to, because sometimes with those types of things, and we're kind of hoping this for other offerings, but sometimes they do soft openings of this, so it's possible that perhaps we can write It's a Small World and hear the last verse on the 16th. It is not a guarantee because it officially opens on the 17th. So for sure, we'll be able to check those things off on the 17th. I do think we will try to go see if we can do those things because we have a lot of friends and people we're going to be meeting up with on the 17th itself. And I feel like the 17th, the day of, especially because it's the 70th, is going to be a very busy park day. Everybody is going to want to be trying to check out these new experiences. So if we might have very long waits on the 17th. So fingers, toes, eyes, whatever you can, cross them. And maybe we'll get lucky and have some sort of like soft opening. I'm not holding my breath, but We might be doing something crazy again, which we did once before. We might be rope dropping It's a Small World so that we can have the lowest weight we can have to experience the last verse and the new. It's weird. It's like the new version, but it's the last verse. I don't know how you say that exactly. Yeah. For sure, we'll be on our phones before 7 a.m. trying to snag ourselves a virtual queue for the Walt attraction.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that's interesting for us is because it's the 70th, there is a confluence of people that we know all coming around. So for the very first time, most people who listen to this may or may not care about this, but I do. For the first time in the years that I have known Eric Johnson, who does our D180 and I do Hub Crawl with, we've been at the resort at the same time before, but never in the park at the same time. So he's actually going to be in the park with us on the 17th. So I'm hoping
we met them for dinner.
Yeah, we were at the Craftsman Grill or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that'll be really exciting. Lindsay from Concierge, along with Marie from Concierge too, I think is going to be there. So we've added their tickets to our app to try to get to, because they're going to be on a plane when the queue opens for Walt and Magical Life. So hopefully they get there in time. Because what if we get really lucky and it's like boarding number like 2 or something?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
No, I didn't think about that until right now either.
I don't think we could be that lucky, but maybe.
Well, maybe that would be unlucky technically.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be lucky because you got a low number, but unlucky because it doesn't. That's the one time we wouldn't want a low number. But
we got Terry Hardin, who's been on the show before, is going to be there that day. Weekly Tiers that we haven't seen in a really long time are going to be there. So, like, they're having if you look at SnackChat ever, they're having a meetup around noon. So, like, there's just so much going on.
The other person, too, that I saw announce that they're going to be at the parks the 16th and 17th is none other than Bob Gurr. So maybe we'll bump into Bob Gurr at the parks. But it's kind of, for Disney fans, the actual anniversary date, especially when it's a big milestone anniversary date, is almost kind of like a reunion of sorts. Because so many people want to go to it just for what it is. But then because so many people want to go to, want to be in the park where it happened, if you will. Then you get to see all these people. So that's why I think our plan, my thought process for a plan of attack is we're not going to have a plan on the 17th because there's going to be a lot of different things pulling us different ways. We're very fortunate that we're just at the park. So I don't think we're going to have that big, like, ooh, I gotta go ride. I don't know. Smuggler's Run or like whatever. Like we're not going to have that neat like super draw to the attractions because we were just able to experience them. But I also think our other like back of a head plan is we should try and knock out attractions when we're there on the 16th, like the calm before the storm. So then we can really get it out of our system so we can focus on well, unfortunately, waiting in lines, which is going to happen because, again, it's going to be a busy day. But then we could kind of focus on the new experiences. And then everything else is a bonus.
If you're going to be there on the 17th, I would say the biggest piece of advice I can give you is patience. It's just going to be a day with a lot of people. If you are not a fan of influencers in the park, not going to be a good day to be there because they're going to be everywhere. So people we love, I assume, I don't know, but Ordinary Adventures might be there. We love them. David from Fresh Baked said he's going to be there the 16th and 17th, and I think he even said the 18th. Like he's got the whole thing blocked off. So it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. But I think Teresa's right. I think for us, it's going to be just breathe and go with the flow of whatever's happening that day. If it's chaos, we just kind of go into our Zen state and work through it.
Find a quiet corner.
Well, go sit in the queue for It's a Small World if it's a long queue. You know what I mean? Like, these are just going to be things we just have to deal with. Luckily, there's only like 2 or 3 things we really want to do. So if those take up a good chunk of the day, for us, not the end of the world. But if you're there on vacation, it's going to be wild, I think. Yeah. If you're not ready for it.
Like Teg said, best advice, patience, yes. But then do have some like loose plans. So maybe have each person in your party pick like 1 or 2 like things that they want to do and just focus on doing those and getting those done. And then just think of everything else like a bonus. Because, it's going to be interesting. You and I are going to have to figure out what we want to do for nighttime entertainment offerings because we only have the 2 nights. So for sure the 16th will probably, depends on how we feel on the 16th, since that's going to be a very long travel day. Maybe we won't be awake enough. Maybe we'll have all of the adrenaline still coursing through our veins and we'll be totally fine. And then same thing for the 17th, because on the 18th, Friday, we get on a plane again to then head up to Seattle. So
what time are we leaving? Like, what time do we have to be on the plane?
I want to say our plane leaves like mid-morning. So it's not like we're going to have to be up at the absolute crack of dawn, but we're not going to be able to sleep in either, kind of a thing. So we're going to have to pace ourselves. We're going to be like, and then we're going to get to the mouse meet, and then we're going to have like a whole new surge of adrenaline. It's going to be like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th Disney wins that are going to be pushing us through this trip. But one thing I wanted to say about going back, I know we talked about this in the news, the Walt animatronic, something I read online that was a positive. I know that's not always something that you see online or positive things, but somebody said something and it really struck with me because I've been very vocal about how I'm very uneasy and unsure about the decision in general. And I'm very nervous going into this because I feel like it's a very big undertaking. But somebody said something and it just really kind of gave me a new perspective. So I don't know if anyone else has been like me and worried about it, but I'm thinking maybe this might benefit someone else listening to. But what they said was this was not something that the Walt Disney Company or Imagineering needed to do. This is not going to be something that is going to be drawing crowds. They're not going to be selling out tickets because this new thing exists. It's not, again, not something like Guardians of the Galaxy in Epcot, where it's, I keep thinking Mission Breakout, which is the wrong one, but Cosmic Rewind. This is not something like Cosmic Rewind where, you know, people are going to be waiting hours, or like, remember when Pandora first opened, how the waits to get in to experience that new area were like people were waiting like half their day just to go in. It's not ever going to pull something like that just because it's kind of a very niche thing. So really, this was a passion project, and this is like Walt's Disney Company, Imagineering's gift for the fans. So that, I don't know, when it was when someone pointed that out and said it that way, that made me just kind of take a step back and reevaluate because, yeah, they're not going to be winning awards necessarily for like technology stuff. They're not, you know, I don't think that there was, it might, but I don't think that, like, I really am like, no, this isn't really something that's like super showy in the fact that they're trying to like,
it's not Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. So that really helped. I'm also, like we mentioned before, trying to stay spoiler free. Of course, you're not going to be 100% spoiler free. So I've already like seen and heard people's like gut reactions, which are not great. So I'm also trying to like keep into perspective. Well, remember how they did the Tiana's previews where it's just different because you're not in the space. You don't have the show lighting. It's just going to be different. I was talking to Tag about this earlier too. You're not supposed to be right up in front of the like nose to nose with the attractions. You're not supposed to have a close look. So I'm trying to keep all of that in mind and still go in with an open mind and see how it is. Who knows? I might end up being like this bawling basket case by the end of it because it's like so amazing and moving, or, you know, who knows?
So, real-time update while we're recording this, Teresa. You can't go to MiceChat's website either because they have a article because apparently they got a media preview today.
Oh,
and so they have a photo.
Why this has been released.
They have a photo on their front page, so you cannot go to MiceChat's front page. So, Teresa, you basically just need to not be on the internet between now and Thursday.
Yeah. I'm going to check my emails. I'm going to do all of my updates and things for my concierge clients because I feel like the travel planning portion of Disney websites that I use will be safe places away from
you can hope.
Animatronic spoilers. So, yeah. But anyway, so that's kind of my mindset going in because obviously that is like the big thing that's happening on the 17th when we're there. But I'm also kind of curious, right? It's the 70th. Do you think there's going to be anything that's specific to that day? I'm assuming probably a cavalcade.
They'll probably, it's tough, right? Because it's the 70th, not something like the 75th. I feel like, you know, in the past, they've done things where they've given out buttons. They've done different photo ops. They've done
cupcakes.
I've seen cupcakes before.
Yeah.
I wish they'd do a cupcake. That'd be really cool. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what they do. I haven't heard grumblings or anything, but a lot of these times you don't hear grumblings. They just happen. Like, you know, D23 Day, we didn't know they were giving out ears, right? Like, it just kind of happened. Did we?
We did. There was one that they did. Maybe it was Disney Plus Day or something that they were giving out ears, and that maybe hadn't been announced. And they had remember they had the blue carpet right after the turnstiles. So who knows? Who knows? It is interesting because the celebrations at the parks, which I totally understand because everybody can't be there on the day. That's just impossible. Yeah. So I like that they stretch the celebrations out so it's over multiple months so multiple people can enjoy them. But I am secretly hoping that there's some extra bit of magic that will be like for the day only. I don't know what that's going to be. Or
they'll
what
have at
it
least a
could
cavalcade for sure. And I'm sure
I think so.
That's probably why Bob Gurr's there, because
I was going to say, I wonder if like,
I wonder if
was
Terry
that
will be in it.
Remember that was D23 day that they had Disney like a Disney Legends cavalcade. That was really cool.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No.
So up to Seattle though, what's our Friday look like? I feel like you have a better grip on what we're doing.
On what all's going on?
I will tell you right now, before we even get into it, this is a jam-packed weekend. We have stuff,
It is.
I'm pretty sure, you correct me if I'm wrong, Teresa, we have stuff Friday night, we have stuff all day Saturday, we have stuff all day Sunday, like in the morning, and then we plan to record Sunday evening, and then we fly out Monday. So we've got so much happening. By the way, we also have an interview with somebody on Tuesday. That'll be somebody future. So it's just, there's just a lot.
There's lots. So Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet Friday. So Friday has always traditionally been and still will be the door decorating contest, which the Embassy Suites Hotel is such a cool hotel in general because it's got this big, huge atrium space. And so like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like some cruise ships have this, but it's the entire hotel. So there's this massive, it's not even the lobby because it goes well beyond that, but there's no rooms in the middle of this building, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Every room has like a balcony kind of entrance that you enter into. And so you can stand out on your room and you can see all of the many floors. You can see like down to the ground level. You can see across from you. It's very, very cool. So when they've got the door decorating contest going on, you can open the door of your room and just stand there and you can like spy where it's very, very cool. And then they also do projections and stuff up on the blank walls and space at Mouse Meet does the projection. So like last year they had, it was like jungle, not last year, sorry, 2 years ago. When Vern and I went, they had like Adventureland themed projections that they had going. And so like they had a waterfall projected that was over like a actual archway in the space. And it's very, very cool. So even though there's not necessarily like presentations or anything, it's a very fun, very Disney, very immersive experience still. They also will have a themed dinner that you can choose to do. And we were pretty excited because the theme for Friday night is one of our faves, Bengal barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
So you can eat and enjoy your Bengal barbecue themed dinner while you're at the hotel. They have trivia on Friday night that's happening. There's pin trading going on. And then there's like different little mini talks about pin trading and just like pins in general, like things like how to spot a fake and, you know, different little like ways to kind of inform and teach people about pin trading in general. So that's just Friday night.
Yeah. Look at the schedule here. So Saturday, really packed. So the doors open for check-in at 9 a.m. On the 19th. Rope drop, they say, is at 10.
Yeah. So
activities of the
what rope drop is?
So
yeah, what rope drop is, Tag, I'll let you know. They don't let you into the space at all. It does not have assigned seating either. So rope drop means you can either like go over into the space to maybe meet the presenters will like have different booths where you can meet them, take photos, get autographs, that sort of thing. So you can do that first, or you can go secure a spot where you want, because again, open seating, and it's not even like D23 where they've got like, oh, well, the first few rows are only for preferred. No, totally open seating. And the neat thing is each time they had done this, they may change it for this. You didn't sit in your same spot all day. They kind of did the drop a couple of times. So if you didn't like your spot the first time, you weren't stuck with it all day, kind of thing. So
and
that's what rope drop is.
You don't have like Phantasmic or the parade where like somebody goes in and like hunkers down all day in the one good spot, right? Do they like clear people out?
Yes,
that's good.
Yeah, they clear everyone out during lunch.
Okay, so there's activities and the charity raffles open, and that's at 10 a.m. with rope drop, and then at 11 a.m. on the main stage, Tim Delaney, former Imagineer. We talked about all these folks last week when we kind of did a preview of this, but Tim Delaney will be there from at 11. At noon, there's a cosplay stage parade that'll be happening. I'm excited for that. Bob Weiss, who is our author that we have for our book club, this current book club that we're doing, is going to be there at 2 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, there's going to be the room door decorating prizes. So they judge it all on Friday night, and they get prizes on Saturday. And then 4:15 on the main stage, John Musker, who is a film director, will be there. 6 o'clock, the raffles close. From 6 to 6:20, the raffle and grand prizes are drawn. And then at 7 o'clock, there is a Skipper Canteen themed dinner.
Yeah, so everything apart from the themed dinner at the end to kind of wrap things up is all included in your day ticket. It doesn't mention here, but there is lunch. Maybe it's like 12:30 to 2 is when lunch gets snuck in there, but they do also have you can eat there, you can go somewhere else. It did look like the lunch items were also themed too, kind of more of a like Adventureland-y kind of theme going on there. Oh no, take that back, because one of the items was a grilled cheese and tomato soup. So maybe they have it themed to like generically like the different areas of the park. Yeah. I didn't look into it too much, but I wonder if that's what it is. Anyways, tons of fun. And if that wasn't enough, of course, we have our wonderful meetup happening at 7 p.m. over at Cascades, which is the bar and grill or bar and restaurant that is inside of the Embassy Suites Hotel. But then on Sunday, they announced a separate ticketed event, which is kind of a casual conversation with Bob Weiss and Tim Delaney, who, of course, both worked in Imagineering. But it's kind of going to be all sorts of, I don't know, off the record, untold stories, behind the curtain type things that you may not hear other places. The other thing that's really neat too is they're going to have a live Q&A session, so you can come with questions that you might have for these folks. This was an additional cost to the Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet main ticket, so this was something that you could add on to kind of extend the magic out. And we, of course, snagged our tickets to be able to go to this event.
Later, the D23, the Ultimate Fan Club or whatever they call it, the D23, are putting on a Goofy movie event that we're also going to, and they have said, the Mouse Meet has said, if you do this conversation, there's plenty of time afterwards to get to that Goofy movie event, so you will not miss it, because that event is only like 5 minutes away from the hotel, which is really cool.
So we might be able to sleep in Sunday, it looks like, Tag, because that Sunday event starts at 11.
Oh, thank goodness.
So we can have a lazy morning and recover Sunday morning. The other really cool thing, we did get a room at the resort, which will be very nice. So we'll be, walking distance to all of the events. But the Embassy Suites Hotel also has an included, I don't know if I told you this, breakfast. So we don't even have to, all we got to do is get up and get out of our room, and everything else is right at our fingertips and right out of our door. So it was such a fun time. I'm very excited for you, Tag, since this will be your first ever Mouse Meet. The event is unlike anything else. Whoever said it online, that said that it's like Disney, like a camp for adults is exactly right, because it's such, and even though it's a fun-filled, very packed scheduled day of events, it's also, I found it to be very relaxing. I didn't feel like, because everything's in one spot, so it's not like you're at a convention center where you're having to rush all over the place, or where you're not staying right there at the hotel. You're having to go back and forth in the morning and evening to and from your hotel and worry about parking and all that. In our case, since we opted to stay at the space, but it's so fun. And I'm very much looking forward to the Goofy movie event, because it sounds like that's not just getting together with other Disney fans to watch a movie, but it's like an interactive experience. So I have remained spoiler free as to what all that may or may not entail. But yeah, that'll be interesting. And of course, the best part,
you got all this stuff planned, but you have no idea what it all entails.
Yep. I just know it's going to be fun. But the best part, the cherry on top of all of these things, are going to be all of the fun and amazing folks that we get to see and connect with in person, whether it's we kind of already talked about this for the 70th anniversary, so when we're in the parks on the 16th and 17th, but then also at the Mouse Meet, because there's going to be a group of weekly tiers that we know that are going to be there. We're going to have our official meetup event, so folks can come say hi or whatever on Saturday night. So I'm just so excited, because it's going to be Disney packed, it's going to be friend filled, all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be really busy for us, but it's going to be very fulfilling and rewarding. And we can't wait to, if you can make it, we can't wait to see you there.
So question for you, Tag, since you have not experienced the mouse meet and you only have what I've told you and what Don's told you about the mouse meet, what is something that you're, aside from the presentations, what is something you're curious about or something you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward
intriguing.
To seeing the creativity of people with their doors, right? Because like on the Disney Cruise Line, people decorate their doors and it's amazing. And this is like, got to be at least on that level, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also excited because I'm really intrigued by the food that they may have because it's themed and stuff. So I'm curious how that is. We did, there was a form they sent out and we didn't have to commit to buying anything, but we could say like what we were kind of interested in. I think that's going to help them figure out like how much to order and make and everything. So I'm kind of interested to see what that stuff turns out to be like because it sounds really good. I mean, who doesn't like Bengal barbecue?
Right.
And then, of course, just seeing people, like, it's going to be great to kind of be there and see, Weekly Tiers and see people that are involved in Disney, meet Dawn in person, because I've never met Dawn in person, so that's going to be really cool. I mean, the whole weekend's just going to be pretty awesome. And at the end of it, we do have some rest time, right? Because we have a little bit, like you said, Sunday. Then we'll record Sunday night, but that maybe, I don't know, who knows how long that's going to take us. But then we also have Monday morning that, like, we're not immediately, I don't think we're immediately, like, up early.
It's kind of like when we fly to Seattle, where it's not like the first flight of the day, but it's also, we also have to be up at not a sleep-in type of time frame, but
okay, yeah. So, but like we don't. It's not like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, we don't have to like be leaving the hotel at 5 a.m. type of thing.
Yeah. Now I'm hoping. I don't think we'll have time, to be honest with you, but I'm hoping because when I was in Seattle, I never got to ride the monorail. I don't think we're gonna have time for that, but man, I really hope so.
I thought for sure that we were going to have time because I'm like, oh, we're going to give ourselves extra time and fly home on Monday. Pooh, joke was on me.
Well, they kept adding stuff, right?
They did.
Like, it wasn't
even
expanding. Your fault.
Yeah, they kept adding and expanding,
crazy.
Which we are totally here for. But yeah, we're looking forward to it all for sure.
Well, in episodes 222 and 338, we spoke to Devi and Steve with Designer Park Company about their rope drop, park view, and single rider bags, and more that we use and love. If you've been wanting to get one of these park goer bags for yourself, you can use our promo code DLWeekly to get 10% off your purchase. Head on over to designerparkco.com and check out all the cool stuff that they have. Because Debbie, I'm on her like mailing list, and she is coming up with stuff all the time. There's always new things and new colors and variants and just totally different things. Like, I don't know how she does it, but it's amazing. Her and Steve, just amazing.
That it is.
Woo! Welcome back to Trivia Land, Chef. My name Raymond, and I hope them answers are bigger and better than this here back porch I got attached to me. Don't you know, Evangeline and I wish y'all the best of luck.
Hello, welcome back. Glad to see you've come back around. I'm guessing partially because you feel like you've learned a lot tonight.
Yeah.
I'm so curious.
Had to send you off on the trip on your way with new things you can share with people, right?
There you go.
So we'll dive right into the questions. So the first one from listener Andy M. What ominous sign lets you know that bad things await on the last lift hill of Big Thunder Mountain? This is actually what I believe is a genuine sign from like mining to know like danger or bad luck is happening here. It's an upside down horseshoe on a crossbeam before the dynamite.
I was thinking like an actual sign. Ding it.
Me too.
As soon as you said it's an upside, I knew that I knew about the upside down horseshoe, but I didn't. Yeah, I was thinking it was a cool sign. Tricky. That was a good one.
Thanks, Andy M. Second question from listener Poe J. How many framed posters are in the indoor queue of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway? You went with 28 and 32. Neither enough. There are 40 inside of the queue, according to their 2 YouTube videos they looked at. So,
not everything has a hidden meaning, I guess.
It should.
It doesn't.
However, what was your 32 meaning?
It was just a good number, right?
It just seemed like a decent number that was not high enough that it would be ridiculous, but not low enough that it was like, I'm pretty sure there were more than that I saw.
Sure.
No.
We have hope tag. I feel like one of us has this answer right.
One of you's bound to. Bathroom emergency at the entrance of Western Ho Trading Company.
There are only two answers, probably, Teresa. So yes,
that's why I said one of us has it.
Teresa's busy looking at the pins. Someone's got to go to the bathroom. By less than 10 feet, you can get to, according to Google Maps, the bathrooms at Rancho slightly faster than Adventureland.
Wow. I will make the argument, don't go that route. Go to the Adventureland bathrooms because there's more of them, so you will not have to wait.
That is a good part of the argument because I would probably send people to the Adventureland sooner as well.
Yeah.
I will also mention I didn't think about the fact of where the men's entrance is because I get to use the women's entrance, right? Which is closer to Westward Ho Trading Company. So that didn't help my thought process either.
But honestly,
it's really quick.
I have to go to the bathroom, so
that's that. It's really quick to get to the women's, but it's quite a bit further, more than 10 feet.
I
get
will
over
say,
to the men's.
I will say at Disneyland Park specifically, not California Adventure, but Disneyland Park. From my top of my head memory, the three best bathrooms for not having to wait are Hungry Bear because there's just a ton.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge, I think, are pretty large now too.
Yep.
And the Autopia bathrooms.
I think the Autopia ones because people don't know they're back there.
But it's also large. I don't know what the women's room is like, but the men's room is huge.
Yeah. But the Adventureland ones are good. If those of you that want to know some bathroom fun facts, because there's two massive sides to the Adventureland ones, but people don't realize that there's two. So everyone will kind of be like, going to the ones that are, because in the women's rooms, there's ones that are, as you enter, it's like straight ahead of you, and then to the left is the sinks. What a lot of people don't realize is then there's another hallway full of restrooms past where the sinks are, so it kind of makes like a, I don't know, like two L's or something, if that makes sense.
The men's room is
so they,
not like
both
that at all.
They both connect back to like where the hand washing station is, but when you first go in, right, you're just like needing to go, so you just like go to what looks closer. But yeah, always check the left side because there's this huge, and it's double-sided on the left side, whereas the right side it's only single-sided for stalls. That's crazy. So many.
I didn't know that because in the men's room you walk in and there's like a bank of urinals, and then there's just some stalls, and then there's like two banks of sinks, and that's it. So you guys have
there's a ton. Actually, now I kind of want to like, unless somebody in custodial can like get us this information quicker, I kind of want to count because it's impressive how many restrooms are in that women's room.
You should just ask Lynn, Sweet Spot. He would know.
He might, he may know it off the top of his head.
So, Weekly Tears, I wanted to give you an update on this. I did text Lynn from the Sweet Spot podcast, a custodial podcast. You should definitely go listen to it. It's amazing. But I messaged him last night, and there are 44 stalls in the Adventureland bathroom for the women's room, which is insane. Thanks, Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, enough of the bathroom talk.
I mean, this is what we're here for. So, last question. I mean, I put it out there in the questions, for better, for worse, right? So, all right, last question. I asked you to fill in the blank for the Frontierland dedication. You gave me some great guesses. I will tell you, of all the words you gave me, you got 2 correct, and 1 or 2 were pretty close, but 2 correct. So I will just give you the full dedication. Frontierland. It is here that we experience the story of our country's past. The color, romance, and drama of Frontier America.
Yeah, nope.
As it developed from wilderness trails to roads, riverboats, railroads, and civilization. So you're on the right track of neighborhoods, but you got roads.
We got roads.
But where we're going, we don't need roads.
Wrong studio.
Oh, right. Sorry. A tribute to the faith, courage.
Yeah, 2 words.
And ingenuity of our hardy pioneers who blazed the trails and made this progress possible. So,
what are you giving us for that? Like a half a point, a quarter of a point?
An eighth. A 16th.
A pat on the back, a gift of Teresa high-fiving herself.
Oh, that doesn't deserve a self high five.
We got closer. We got closer than we deserved to get on that one. I'm just saying.
You got closer than you expected to, so there is a lot of pride that you should have with that one.
I feel like it's a missed opportunity that Wild is not in there. Hello, Wild West.
I know.
Oh, well.
I know.
They got to redo it. I'm just kidding.
Try again. It's 70 years. Time for a refresh, right?
We need an update.
Yep. Put aside Tomorrowland demands for refurb. We just need these dedications. But anyway, enough of these wild hot takes and bathroom chat. We are wrapping up Trivia Land. And as always, thank you to our listeners for sending in questions. For those of you who have great ideas to give us questions to let Tig and Teresa get some answers right or continue stumping them, either way, you can head to our website, dlweekly.net/trivia, and let us have them.
Well, we will be back next week with more Disneyland news and information.
Until then, go out and enjoy the parks.
And a special thank you to Tag for editing this podcast.
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal podcast companion. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this episode? My scans indicate you have been a good weekly tier. Have a lollipop. Now excuse me while I let out some air. Goodbye.